Hey, it's Jennifer from Quiltin', Stitchin' and Kitties. Want to see how to sew together squares in a simple method? It's called the webbing method. It goes really fast and I think you'll like it. Okay, the webbing method is a very simple way to put together quilts that have the same size squares, the same size rectangles. They are not useful for any offset seams, but when your seams are all going to match, then this is a great way to do it. So I am sideways on this because of the fact that I am shooting this as a long video, but I want you to pretend that this is actually the columns of a quilt, and the columns are up and down, the rows are across. So this would be 5 rows down and 3 columns down. Okay, so the way that you sew them together is you take column 1 and you stack it in the exact order with the next one below you underneath and go like that. That's column 1. Column 2 is stacked exactly the same way. Start from the top, move down to the bottom. And column 3 is done exactly the same way. So for however many columns you've got, that's how you stack them up. I always suggest you put them on something or pin them when you're carrying them to your sewing machine, so just in case you drop them. I have columns 1 and columns 2 next to each other. I'm going to flip column 2 over column 1. Then I will line up my seams, my edges, to make my 1/4 inch seam and sew 1/4 inch. Very important in this webbing method is that you do not cut your threads. Okay, now I go back to column 1 and back to column 2. Once again, I flip column 2 over column 1 and stitch. And then you just continue to do that for as many different rows as you've got. It goes very fast. The interesting thing is that you do not need to press when you're doing it this way. You will adjust your seam allowances by fingering them when you're sewing columns together or rows together. So let me just do those really quick. So you can see it really goes fast, and even if you obviously have a full-size quilt, it's still going to go pretty fast. Okay, so when you finish with that, stick in a little leader or ender, trim it off, do not cut anything else. Then you're going to sew on column 3. So there is columns 1 and 2, all set, ready to go. They're all stuck together, and you don't have to worry about things getting lost because they're attached, which is really nice. So now I've got column 3. So I do the same thing. I flip column 3 over to column 2 and stitch. And I will come back and show you when they're all stitched together. I just finished column 3, and now I've got all of this webbed together, and now I'm going to be sewing rows. So everything's attached. I know exactly what to do. So usually I start at the top, and I flip it down. So this was the first row going across. I flip it down to the second row, and I choose a direction for which way I want my seam allowances to go. Typically, I like the top seam allowance to go to the left if I have a choice, and the bottom seam allowance to go to the right, because it's much easier to control the top seam allowance with your fingers, and the bottom seam allowance is going in the right direction. And I do pin because I find my accuracy is much, much better if I pin. But you don't have to. You can just go along and move the seam allowances as you go. So now I'm just going to turn it like this. So this is actually row 1. Row 2 is underneath. And I'm going to, oops, get that up there. And if this was a bigger quilt, I definitely would do some pinning. And then as I come up to the first intersection, I hold my fingers down on that seam allowance until my needle hits it. Then I pull my pin out, and that way I know my seam allowance hasn't gotten twisted or flipped or whatever. Okay, and there is row 1 and row 2. Now I know it's a little quilt, but still, it really goes fast. So there's row 1, there's row 2, and you just keep going. After I finish the last row, there it is. Column 1, column 2, column 3, and all done. And truly, I was only a few minutes finishing it up while I had the camera off. Then take it to your ironing board and press. I typically start at the top of a quilt and press my seams going down towards the bottom. I just do that as a routine so I don't have to think about it. I press from the front as flat as I can, and then I turn it over, check my seam allowances on the back. If I've got something a little screwy, like this one I messed up a little bit, but you know what? This is going to be a little table topper. I'm not going to worry about fixing it. So that's it. That's how you do the webbing method. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care.